Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about the Pentacles suit from my tarot deck, the Tarot of Passing Showers, and I will put down a link in the description box for you to for you to go to the shop front and make playing cards to see if you like this, if you would like to purchase this deck. And this deck would not have been possible without the help of the encouragement of my friends. And I hope that by going through the inspiration behind each card, you will be inspired to do a deck to make a deck of your own if you are really called to do so. And now for the Pentacles suit, and we know it's about the element of earth, and I'm inspired a lot by one of my favorite anime series, Mushishi. Although they are not dealing with earthly creatures on the whole, but the scenery in this anime series are all done very beautifully, and wherever I look at the graphics, I'm always caught to remember the beauty of the earth, the natural phenomenon that happens, and so on. And a lot of the elements in the earth suit, the Pentacle suit, are also inspired by photos that I saw on social media, very beautiful photos of the tribes and all that. And I would like to bring in their beautiful clothings and so on into my Pentacle suit, and I hope I do it very respectfully. So first up is the Ace of Pentacles, which is a bit dark, but you will recognize a secret geometry here. I saw a picture of a chameleon's tail, and I thought that it would be so beautiful to draw into my art piece for this, but then it was also a very difficult one to draw because I do not know how to represent the scales in a beautiful way. And then I also thought of another item that has a golden mean ratio inside, which is the ammonite, the fossil. So here it is. And this is the Two of Pentacles, and I'm sure you will have noticed the Moebius strip behind. I really love that in the RWS and in the Thoth, and so I put it in here. And I know for it, the astrological association with this card was Jupiter in Capricorn. So Capricorn is kind of like a Saturnian root, Saturn root horoscope. So there's the skeleton here to remind us of death. And I thought of rabbits because I saw a picture where there's a kind of a yin-yang picture dealing with rabbits as part of the subject, and I wanted to bring it in. So for the Three of Pentacles, I was drawn to some Celtic designs of trees, and so I put them in here. But because I know that the Three of Pentacles, usually we have somebody communicating their ideas to other parties, so I perceive it as having some kind of a social support, and that's where the horses come in. because horses are very social creatures, they love their home. And I wanted the power to show through the Mars in Capricorn astrological influence in the assertive way he puts out his idea. When I think of Four of Pentacles, I do not first think of misery. I think more of the body and how we take care of our body. So to me, it's always about to take care of our body, to be very grounded. It's all about meditation. And so here, the person is sitting on the ground, and I draw rhinoceros because I think that they are very strong creature, but they are also very vulnerable. The Five of Pentacles is always known as a card of poverty and so on, and so I decided to put in that same idea here as well. So cause I think of five as going regressing or progress. So here one is pulling the tree trunk closer, and while one is trying to break out. Six of Pentacles, about sharing. It's all about sharing. So I drawing this rainbow to symbolize the exchange and the flower blooming for it. The Seven of Pentacles was actually a very difficult card for me to draw because I don't know what to draw. But I remembered somebody in the online community talking about it as a kind of a pregnancy. And so when I went to my friend's house where she was pregnant, I saw the pain she was enduring, and I decided to draw her in here. So at first I knew that this is going to be a very dark background, this will have a very dark background, and I didn't want to shade her face and so on to make her stand out. But I remembered that she was always talking about how cosmetics in the market always cater for people of fairer skin, and so I thought that it will not be nice to kind of whitewash her, and I tried to my very best to shade so that her face don't become very obscured by the details on her face will be obscured and so on. So yeah, a bit fairer than she's supposed to be, but that's the best of my skills. So we know Eight of Pentacles as a card having to deal with work, and so I think of a beaver who is they always talk about beaver as being a creature of a hardworking creature, but I also remember their significance in their creating those kind of dams which help the ecosystem. And because I always think of the sun when I see the Thoth depiction, so I decided to draw very sunny sky here. And we know the Nine of Pentacles to be a lady who is very richly dressed and very beautiful in her own garden, and so here she is in her own garden as well. But I have a polar bear here because I always think of bears as being symbol of strength, and to me this card always speaks about soft power, and I thought it would be nice to put something powerful here. So the Ten of Pentacles is one of the cards that I redraw. At first I drew family, but something that's related to family as what is shown in the RWS. But then I realized that I am not very close to my own family, and it is a bit hard to draw a happy family when you do not feel like you fit in your own family. So I decided to draw something that I feel I fit into more, which is the natural world. And so a creature who is pretty prehistoric, bison for strength, and the footstep symbolizing the path, the ancestry of all the animals and plants and living creatures that have been on the earth. So now I will go on to the court cards, and here we see the Page of Pentacles. The Inktober prompt for this was Frog Witch, and so when I saw Frog Witch, I think of this page which is very earthly. No, even though frogs are not very land creatures per se, but I thought of them as very important to the ecosystem, and so I have them here to represent the Page of Pentacles, and having a crystal ball. So we know crystal as being things that are born from being buried for a very long time under the earth. So it's the earthly earth, you know. And the Trinity symbol here, cause I just want to add something that feels very creation like here as well. So this is the the Knight of Pentacles. So we know this knight as being the slowest knight, but of course slowest knight doesn't mean he's not good. I think this knight does all his due diligence, and as you can see, there are sunflowers here. So I know that this knight is not always a knight that is associated with war and as such, and so I thought that having flowers that bring out his nature will be very good, you know. And you will have noticed some kind of scarring here, so maybe it will be kind of a trigger warning. But when I was on a train one day and I saw a girl whose arm seems to have a lot of scars on it, which is very strange to me. So I thought about the issue of self-harm, and you know, I think that healing is a very long process, and people who have walked out of these kind of things are very brave souls to me. So in this sense, they embody the energy of the Knight of Pentacles, who takes time, but who is also in the end a warrior who has won his cause, in the same way that this plant has broken a rock apart. Next up will be the Queen of Pentacles. So usually we think of mothers when we think of the Queen of Pentacles, but you know, my relationship with my mom isn't that great, so I was thinking about a female figure. What kind of female figure can I put into this card? And I thought of Persephone. After she has become a queen, the queen of the underworld. So yeah, here she is, and she's very earthly, of course, because she's a daughter of, you know, Demeter. But then here there's like some kind of a cave, so it symbolizes her underworld relations. And in the top we saw a goat of some sort, you know. So I wanted to put that in as well, because really love how this goat symbolizes the strength of a mother, of a queen, or anyone who has been through this kind of situation. So finally here, the final card I will be showing from my deck will be the King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles is always a father figure, my earthly father. So in comparison to my mother, my relationship with my mother, my relationship with my father is more cordial. So this is actually him in some form, because he's a gardener. He comes from a line of gardeners or people who likes to deal with plants, and so I have all the greenery growing on him. And because the King of Pentacles seem to be a very old wise soul, I have a tortoise here to symbolize the age and the wisdom that he carries. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you for joining me on all these videos. Bye.